Have you ever felt tired, overwhelmed, like you were carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? That exhaustion that is not just in your body, but in your soul, as if every day is a battle. And in the end, you do not even know why you are still fighting. If your life feels like this, then this video is for you. Jesus knew exactly what it is like to live in a world that never stops, that constantly demands more and more from us. But he gives you an invitation that can change everything. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. But what does this truly mean? How can you find this rest when everything around you is pulling you into another exhausting day? Stay with me until the end of this video, because today you are going to discover the secret that can transform your life. Imagine yourself in the middle of a storm. The clock moves forward without mercy. Responsibilities pile up, and the feeling of exhaustion never seems to end. The world shouts for productivity, but Jesus whispers an invitation. Come with me to a quiet place and get some rest. Mark 6:31. It is interesting to note that even when surrounded by a crowd hungry for his teachings, Jesus prioritized the rest of his disciples. This was not negligence, but wisdom. Jesus knew that a weary heart cannot love fully, and an exhausted mind cannot see clearly. The disciples were so immersed in their work that they did not even have time to eat. Have you ever felt like that? Tasks multiplying, commitments consuming every second of your day, and in the end, a level of exhaustion that even sleep cannot fix. The invitation of Jesus was not just for those 12 men, but for all of us who live in this relentless pace. He teaches us that we were not created to live without pauses. Even God, after 6 days of creation, rested. If the creator of the universe himself sets this example, why do we insist on ignoring the need to stop? But true rest goes beyond simply turning off your phone or taking a day off. Jesus invites us to rest in him. It is not just about physical rest, but about relief for the soul. While the world pushes us toward endless performance, he calls us to a place of peace where anxiety gives way to trust. When we step away from the chaos and draw closer to him, we find a rest that the world can never offer. And believe me, this is a powerful secret that can completely transform your life. We live in a world where stopping seems like a sign of weakness. All the time, we hear phrases like time is money or while you rest, someone else is working. But does this relentless pace really lead to a better life? Even Jesus' disciples, who were engaged in something so noble, needed a moment to regain their strength. And Jesus made it clear, no one can keep moving forward without taking pauses. When we neglect rest, we are slowly draining ourselves, without realizing how much it distances us from true peace. The problem is not work itself, but the lack of balance. Even Moses, a great leader chosen by God, faced this challenge. He tried to handle everything on his own until his father-in-law, Jethro, advised him to share the responsibilities. Exodus 18:17-18. If Moses had continued that way, his body and mind would have collapsed. This teaches us that we were not created to carry everything alone. God designed us to have moments of rest, reflection, and renewal. Ignoring this does not make us stronger, but weaker and less effective. That is why rest is not a luxury, but a necessity. When we take intentional breaks, we gain clarity. The mind slows down, the body recovers, and the heart opens to what truly matters. But the deepest rest is not just about stepping away from daily activities. It is about something much greater, finding peace in the presence of God. And this is exactly what Jesus invites us to experience. Resting the body is important, but resting the soul is essential. The true rest that Jesus offers goes far beyond simply stopping activities or taking time for yourself. It is a rest that renews from the inside out, that lifts the weight of worries and brings peace in the midst of chaos. This is what he promised when he said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. While the world teaches that rest is escaping, Jesus teaches that rest is surrendering. And what does it mean to surrender? It means letting go of the need for control, the worries that steal our sleep, the guilt that holds us captive. Martha, for example, was always busy, always overwhelmed, trying to handle everything. Luke 10:38-42. Mary, on the other hand, chose to sit at Jesus' feet and simply listen. Who truly found rest? Martha exhausted herself with many tasks, while Mary discovered true peace in the presence of the Master. This shows us that it's not just about what we do, but where we place our hearts. Jesus calls us to this deep rest, where the soul finds refuge and the heart is at peace. But to experience it, we must take a step of faith, slow down, prioritize what truly matters, and trust that He is in control of everything. When we surrender our worries to God, He transforms our weariness into strength, our anxiety into peace, our restlessness into true rest. And this is the renewal that only He can give. Now that you've made it this far, I need to ask you, when was the last time you truly rested? Not just your body, but your soul? When was the last time you felt that deep peace that doesn't depend on the circumstances around you? Jesus is inviting you to that rest, and maybe this is the answer you've been searching for all along. Because the truth is, the world demands too much from you. You have to be strong all the time, handle everything, hide your exhaustion, hold back your tears. But today, God is reminding you, you don't have to carry this weight alone. Imagine how different your life would be if, instead of fighting alone against fear, uncertainty, and exhaustion, you simply trusted? What if, in the middle of the chaos, you knew there was a safe place to rest your soul? This video didn't show up for you by accident. Maybe God is giving you a sign, calling you into a new season. A season where rest is not an escape, but an encounter. Where peace is not an illusion, but a reality. Where you realize that you were never alone. And if this message spoke to you, share in the comments. What burden do you want to place in God's hands today? Your response can encourage someone else who also needs this rest. And if this video blessed you, imagine how many lives it can reach. So like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep receiving messages that renew and transform. Because resting in God is not an option, it's a necessity. And this is only the beginning of what He wants to do in your life.